Welcome. Today I want to cover some of the trends and the changes that we're seeing in the local marketplace. Speaking locally of the Iron County region, so those of you that live here, you're going to find this fascinating. Those of you that are outside watching, I will also tie back that the numbers that we're seeing here are also in alignment with the trends that we're seeing on a national level. So if you live outside of our market, please know that these numbers very likely statistically will apply to where you're at. But I'm going to give you the numbers that I've pulled for August as we begin September and as we roll forward, looking at what to expect in the housing market as we continue through September and ultimately end Q3 and start into Q4. Now, the numbers that I pulled were from the saturation reports within the MLS. There are going to be some homes that are outside of this county that are reflected in there, but still relevant because they are still being marketed within the area. Here's what I find interesting. Sellers will say on a regular basis, have we shifted markets? Well, we're normalizing. And I would argue that as we normalize into what we would have seen in 2018 and 2019 before the COVID frenzy of just crazy real estate prices and timeframes, multiple offer situations, we're going back to more of what we saw that was normal. So then the second follow-up question that I get from people is, does that mean that home prices are going to depreciate? And I would say no, they're not depreciating, but we would tie a different word to that. Home prices are decelerating. Think of it like you're in a sports car and you're just cruising down the road. And you just let off the gas, you don't apply the brake, you're naturally going to decelerate as you move down the road. We're decelerating. So we're not losing value, but we're having less frenzy, which is ultimately pulling values down because sellers are saying, hey, I still have to sell. Where are the buyers? And so I need to meet them. We did a previous video that talked about saturation and we talked about absorption. We still have a seller's market based on what defines buyer versus seller market or a neutral market. Neutral being 6 months of inventory, buyer market being more than 7 months of inventory, and everything under 6 months of inventory within any marketplace is going to be considered a seller's market. There's fewer homes available for the buyers that have demand, and so we're not meeting up with what they're looking for. So here's some of the numbers that I want to give you because I feel like it's pretty relevant as we watch interest rates push buyers around, and it's valuable to both buyers and sellers as you're negotiating or you're looking at where should I price, what should I be buying, is this a good deal in the current market, am I overpaying, am I underselling, if I'm the seller, am I giving it away, where do I find that balance? In the current market locally, we had a 67% decrease in homes that sold. This is just sold numbers for August, year over year. August 2021, August 2022, just looking at that month, we went down 67% in the price range of 250 to 300. So anything listed between 250 and 300, we had 67% fewer sales in that price range. Here's what I find fascinating. The next two categories go up. So between 3 and 400,000, we went up 2% in sales month over month. And between 4 and 500,000, we went up 22.5%. So we had an increase of people buying higher price point homes month over month, but a decrease in lower. And then when we get to above 500,000, again, that two categories probably closer to where our average income earner is with some money down. We go over 500 and all of a sudden we see a 10% drop. And so we've got this, we've bracketed the 250 to 300 and the over 500 are negative numbers and everything in between is a positive number, which is an indicator of interest rates versus affordability being wage affordability versus the payment. So we're going to continue to see interest rates fluctuate. We're going to continue to see a little bit of a deceleration, not necessarily a depreciation or a crash. When I say crash, I'm talking what we experienced in 07, 08. There's just indicators saying we're not there. For example, the lending standards are much stronger. So I want you to look at these numbers. I want you to realize that year over year, we're seeing the movement, but it's still a seller's market. The key is, are you priced correctly? Are you negotiating correctly? And on the buyer side, are you buying what you want? Can you afford it? And do you have the right strategy in place so that you can win in your purchase? So looking at the overall market, you're in a really great position to be looking to buy right now. If you're looking to sell, you may need to exercise some patience. It's not going to sell in the first 2 days unless you price it to do so. And that's still a strategy. Most people just don't employ that strategy. Great time to buy. Make sure that you are working with people that you trust. Make sure that you are working with vendors, meaning lenders or inspectors or agents for that matter, that you have enough rapport with that you can be honest with and say, hey, this is what I really want, but I'm unwilling to do certain things to get it, and I want to be over here. Just make sure that you find the people that you relate to, that you have rapport with, and that you resonate with, and work with them. Strategy always matters. It's critical. The market is the market, and there's a lot of opportunity in it right now. Which opportunity is best for you? Let's go find that opportunity and move you forward. I hope you found this update valuable. If you have any insights or want to add to it, please reach out. Let's have that conversation or comment on the video.